Hello, welcome to Sara Yoga. I'm Kat. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's yoga class is called Wake Up Your Core, and this is going to bring tone and circulation to the muscles of your core, so your abdominal muscles and your back. And it's also going to work on your balance. So your postural muscles that are around your spine and in your back and your tummy muscles, they have a lot to do with your ability to balance and to be able to move around with grace and with stability. This class will also stimulate your digestion, so don't be surprised if your tummy starts rumbling by the end. Enjoy the class.
Begin standing with parallel feet in a hip distance apart, and bring your hands onto your hips as you rock your weight forwards and backwards on your feet, lifting and spreading out your toes and feeling the balls of the feet are nice and broad, making each rock smaller each time, grounding the feet with the arches feeling lifted, knees soft. Bring your awareness to your pelvis. Tip your pelvis forwards and backwards. Forwards like a bowl of water spilling out the front, backwards like a bowl of water spilling out the back. Connect this to your breath, inhaling, tipping the pelvis forwards, and exhaling, tipping the pelvis backwards. Extend upon this to add in some scoops. So you're inhaling, tipping your pelvis forwards, and then exhaling as you tuck your tailbone under as if you were digging ice cream out of the tub and scooping. So inhaling, tipping your pelvis forwards, and exhaling, scooping the pelvis as if you were digging ice cream out of the tub. For more challenge, add in a knee lift. So exhaling, scooping and raising up one knee. Inhale, place the foot back down, tip the pelvis forward. Exhale, scoop, raise up the other knee using your core strength. Inhale, place your foot back down, tip the pelvis forward. Exhale, scoop, tuck the tail under, lifting your knee. And inhale, place your foot back down. Continue with your breath, alternating knees. And as you exhale and scoop, really lengthen your tailbone down, tuck it under, feel your lower back lengthening. Raising your knee is going to help to tone your core. It is a balance. It's okay to be a bit wobbly. You're working so many muscles here. And you are lengthening the lower back, so that will help to stretch out tight muscles. Make this the last round and come back to a simple scooping of the pelvis. Inhaling, tipping the pelvis forward. Exhaling, scooping. For a few more rounds, face and jaw are relaxed. And then coming back to a gentle rocking of your pelvis until you find your neutral pelvis. Feeling that your core is strong, so tummy gently drawn in, pelvic floor lifted. Bringing your weight over into your right foot. Take your left foot up off the mat and balance with your knee level with your hip. So we're going to circle from the hip. Inhale as you circle your knee away and exhaling it across the midline of your body and back up towards you. Continue with your breath. Exhale, circle the knee away. Inhale, back and towards you. Really strong, keeping your hips nice and level. You might need to have a nice little soft knee bend in your supporting leg to stop your knee from locking. Keep breathing and make sure that your face and jaw are relaxed. So consciously relax into those muscles as the other ones in your core and your hip are working. So then finishing up here and placing your foot down, have a paddle out for your feet. And then we're going to draw some figures of 8 with the hips. So this is drawing figures of 8 on a horizontal plane, as if it were being drawn on a tabletop. And just flow very intuitively, breathe naturally. Make the size of the movements a size that feels appropriate for your body. Moving the hips in that figure of 8 shape. And this should feel really good, stretching out the muscles around the hips. Change directions. Now you'll probably find that circling and creating a figure of 8 shape in one direction with your hips is easier than the other one. So see what you feel. Maybe this way will feel a little bit more sticky, a little bit more difficult to create the shape. Creating figure of 8s with your body is calming for your mind. Making this the last few rounds here and coming back to center. Tipping your pelvis backwards and forwards and then finding a neutral pelvis. Bring your weight over into your left foot, taking your right foot off the mat, bringing knee level with the hip. Inhale as you circle your knee away and exhaling as you circle your knee towards you. Continue with your breath. Keep going at your own breath pace. Make sure that your standing knee is softly bent just a little bit so it's not looking straight. Changing directions when you're ready. And you could feel your mula bandha engaging, so you'll probably need to give it some active engagement. Drawing your tummy in, lifting your pelvic floor, feeling that strength in your core and in your standing leg. Last few rounds here. And with control, placing your right foot down, paddling out your feet. Have a little tilt forward and back for your pelvis and a wiggle, maybe a little figure of 8 for your hips, just 1 or 2 each way. Come back to center and then bring your arms down by your sides, palms face forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up and exhale them down. Inhale, sit into chair pose. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips, rounding over your bent knees. And from here, walking your hands forward so that you're lengthening out your spine, and you can have a little wiggle from the hips, kind of swaying in a really natural and intuitive way to feel these gentle stretches in your side bodies as you lengthen your spine. Your knees will still be bent and your lower back still flat, tailbone pointing upwards. That's really important to protect your spine. But you're creating that length in your spine as your hands walk away from your feet and you wiggle and wobble side to side. And so you will end up in a sort of very short downward dog pose. And just keep breathing here, thinking of your tailbone stretching up and back. Knees will very likely be bent to protect the lower back. And your head is hanging down. Face and jaw are relaxed. Then walking your hands forward into a more traditional length downward dog pose. And come gently onto hands and knees, relax down in child pose. Have a few breaths here, everything soft, relaxed and melting. Enjoying this time to rest, breathing into your lower back. And when you are ready, we'll move on with this movement and time with the breath. So on your inhalation, coming up to hands and knees. And on your exhalation, curl your toes under, send your bottom up and back into downward dog. Inhale, hands and knees. And exhale your bottom to your heels, belly to the thighs, forehead towards the mat into child pose. Continue with your breath. Inhale, hands and knees. Curl your toes under. Exhale, send your bottom up and back into downward dog. Your knees may well be bent here to help you extend your tailbone up towards the ceiling and have a flat back. If you feel that your spine is rounding, bend your knees more. Inhale, hands and knees when you're ready, and exhale, relax down into child pose. Inhale, hands and knees, and exhale into child pose. From child pose, make a little adjustment and widen your knees, pointing your big toes together. Keep your arms stretched forward, but your shoulders down your back. Breathing down to your lower back. Breathing into a soft and relaxed belly. A few more breaths here. And then gently beginning to activate your abdominal muscles again, drawing your tummy in, lifting your pelvic floor, and rolling slowly up to a kneeling position. Round your hands behind you, lift your bottom off your heels and tip your pelvis backwards like you are tucking your tailbone under. Place your bottom down on your heels. So you might already be feeling quite a strong stretch in your quads in the front of the thighs. If you want a stronger stretch, you can lower yourself down towards your elbows. Can be a little bit tricky here if your polite edge of your stretch is before you reach your elbows, but with slightly bent arms, because then it can be a little bit hard on the arms. But do your best to find the comfortable stretch that's right for you. Keep breathing. Try not to let your knees pop up off the floor, and definitely keep your chin in towards your chest. And then when you're ready, grounding into your hands or elbows and gently pushing yourself back up. Bring your knees together and round forward into child pose for a moment. And then drawing your tummy in, lifting your pelvic floor, rolling back up to a kneeling position. If you want more challenge, you can curl your toes under. And so you're sitting on your curled under toes, which stretches the feet. And then raising your arms up to shoulder height and circling your wrists. Keep breathing. Circle your wrists in the other direction and then relax your arms down. Exhale your chin towards your chest and then inhaling, looking up and over one shoulder. Exhale, chin towards your chest. Inhale, look up and over the other shoulder. Continuing with your breath, releasing out through your neck. If it gets too much for your toes curled under, just come into a normal kneeling position or even any other comfortable seated position. So you might like to move yourself to a cross-legged position, and that's fine. Exhaling, chin towards your chest. Inhaling, looking up and over your shoulder. Make that the last round. Bring your head to center. Inhale, reaching one arm up, and exhale into a side lean. Inhale back to center, reach the other arm up and exhale over. Inhale back to center and exhale, side lean over to the other side. Last round. Inhale back to center with arms outstretched and exhale. Twist, looking out over your back shoulder. Inhale back to center, exhale, twist the other way and continue with your breath. And as you twist through your spine, feel like the twist is a spiral staircase rotating up your spine from the base to the tip, and you look out over your shoulder. Last round, come back to the center and give your shoulders some circles and shrugs. Then gently make your way forward onto hands and knees. Relax your bottom down towards your heels in child pose. Now back up onto hands and knees and exhale into downward dog. So you might like to stay here in downward dog, and you can stay here breathing in this posture if that feels like the right level of challenge for you. If you want some more challenge, then we're going to do some balancing and core work from downward dog. From your downward dog, raising your right leg up as you inhale. Exhale your right knee to the outside of your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg back up. Exhale it to the outside of your left elbow. Inhale, straighten it up. And exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, straighten the leg up. And exhale, place it gently down into downward dog. Have a paddle for your feet. And when you're ready, gently inhaling onto your hands and knees. Exhale into child's pose. Have a few breaths here, relaxing in child pose. Breathing into your belly, relaxing everything. Relax your face and jaw, lips, teeth and tongue. Relax your belly. And feel free to keep resting, or if you would like more challenge, then inhale onto hands and knees, curl your toes under, and exhale into downward facing dog. And again, stay here if this feels like enough challenge for you, but if you want more, then raising your left leg up. And exhaling as you bring your left knee to the outside edge of your left elbow. Inhale the leg back and up. Exhale your left knee to the outside edge of your right elbow. Inhale back and up. And exhale your knee to your nose. Inhale, stretch that left leg up. And exhale, gently place it down. In downward dog, maybe paddling your feet if that feels good. Come on to hands and knees and rest down in child pose. Continue with the vinyasa, inhaling hands and knees, exhaling downward dog. And you can stay in downward dog, you can have a few breaths here, it's completely up to you. Do what feels good for your body. Maybe you're ready to inhale hands and knees and exhale into child pose. Making your way through the dynamic dog vinyasa, coming up onto hands and knees and then into downward dog. And again, if you want more challenge, let's do this core challenge again, raising the right leg up. Inhale and exhale, bringing your right knee to the outside edge of your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your right leg up. Exhale, right knee to outside edge of left elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch your leg up. And exhale, bring your foot down into downward dog again. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, child pose. Relax. Take a bit of time to breathe and rest here. You've been working really hard. Relaxing your bottom down towards your heels. Don't worry if your bottom doesn't touch your heels. And you can even place a cushion in between your bottom and your heels if you'd like to, so you can feel more supported. Relax your back, your tummy, and relaxing your face, your jaw, lips, teeth, and tongue. Relax your arms. A few more deep breaths here before we begin moving again. Then if you feel ready to begin moving again, inhale up to hands and knees, curl your toes under, exhale into downward dog. Have a few breaths here, and of course you could stay here, or if you'd like to have more challenge, raising your left leg up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, stretch your left leg up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, stretch the leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch the leg up. And exhale, place it down into downward dog. Paddle out your feet. Inhale, hands and knees. And exhale, child pose. So we're going to do one more round of these each side. So do rest in any pose that you'd like. Or if you're ready to do more, back into downward dog. Stretching right leg up and exhaling right knee to right elbow. Inhale, stretch the right leg up. Exhale, right knee to outer edge of left elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg up. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, stretch your leg up. And then a bit different this time. We're bending that right knee, bringing the right foot towards the left buttock. So you're twisting and opening your hips to the right. Breathing here for a few rounds of breath. Keep grounding your hands firmly into the earth. You're doing so well. Relax your neck, let your head hang down. Face and jaw relaxed. And then stepping your right knee to the outside edge of your right wrist into pigeon pose. Sweep your right foot across the midline of your body, just an appropriate amount for you. Flexing your right foot, and we're lengthening down into pigeon pose here. So relaxing your upper body down over your front leg, and the distance that you are able to go down to the floor will be different for each person. So don't worry if you're not coming all the way down over your leg. Just continually think of lengthening over the front leg, keeping your spine long and your shoulders relaxed. And keep your back leg active. So you're stretching that left leg out behind you, top of the foot grounding into the mat, keeping you balanced. Keeping the front foot, the right foot flexed, and I know the mat's kind of in the way, but flexing into the mat so you really feel that strong, grounded, stable support to this pose, and relaxing your upper body, but keep lengthening the upper body, especially if it's a little way up off the floor. Face and jaw relaxed, and breathing into your right buttock, outer hip, where you'll feel this stretch. So then last few relaxed breaths here, and then using the strength of your arms to push yourself back up into downward facing dog. Have a paddle out for your feet. And if you'd like to rest in child pose, that's fine, or rest on hands and knees, or if you find downward dog a sufficient resting position, then that's great too. Making sure that your head and neck are relaxed, stretching your tailbone up and back towards the line between the ceiling and the wall, grounding your hands down, enjoying this gentle inverted pose, so great for your circulation. And when you're ready, slowly lowering onto hands and knees, Exhale down into child pose. Inhale back to hands and knees. Exhale, downward dog. And then inhaling your left leg up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, stretch your left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, stretch your left leg up and back. And exhale, knee to nose. And inhale, stretch your left leg up and back. Then bending at your left knee, bringing the left foot towards the right buttock. And then when you're ready, stepping your left knee to the outside edge of your left wrist, sweeping your left foot across the midline of your body, and slowly lowering yourself forward into our relaxed pigeon pose, a lovely deep stretch for your left buttock, left outer hip area. And obviously don't worry if you don't get as low as I'm demonstrating here, that's absolutely fine. You are listening to your own body and doing what feels right. Check in with your shoulders, that they are relaxing down your back and away from your ears. Check in with your face and jaw, that they are relaxed. Keep grounding the entire length of your right leg, so that's the back leg, into the earth, grounding the top of your foot into the mat. And keep breathing here, this lovely, deep buttock outer hip stretch for the left side. And there might be other places you feel this stretch in your body, so just observe everything. When you're ready, grounding into your hands. Curl your back toes under, step back into downward facing dog. Have a little paddle out for your feet. Breathe here. Stretching your tailbone up and back. Relaxing your neck, let your head hang down. Remember, you might need to keep your knees a little bit bent in downward dog. Make sure you're not rounding your lower back. Inhale into flat cat and repeat one more time. Exhale, round. Inhale, flat. Then exhaling, stepping your right foot to the outside edge of your right hand into a lunge. You can also put a cushion under your back knee to soften it. On your next inhalation, raising your right arm up, so coming into a twist, twisting towards your front leg. You can tuck your chin and look up, or you can keep head, neck and spine aligned. Paying attention to the position of your right knee. So right knee stacks over the ankle here to start with, and just notice how that feels. Then experiment with rolling the right knee out, so you're coming to the outside edge of the right foot. And just notice how this feels. You get a deeper stretch through your hip. Make sure you listen to your body and only do what feels right for your body. Bring your right hand down to the floor. Round your hand and step back into downward facing dog. Have a little paddle out for your feet. And maybe enjoy a few breaths in stillness here, pushing your tailbone up and back, relaxing your neck, letting your head hang down. Your knees can be bent if they need to be to keep that tailbone pointing up and back. Enjoy dropping alternate heels or staying in stillness. And then inhaling, coming slowly onto hands and knees, and exhaling into child pose. Inhale back to hands and knees. Exhale, stepping your left foot to the outside edge of your left hand. So then with left knee stacked over left ankle, reaching your left arm up, right hand down into a lovely twist. Feel lifted from the underneath side of your body as you ground down through your supporting hand. And if your wrist feels tender, you can make a gentle fist with your supporting hand instead. And keep your left knee stacked over the left ankle. Notice how that feels. So it's almost a sense of the left knee rolling in slightly. And then experiment with rolling that left knee out. So you're coming to the outside edge of your left foot, and notice how this feels on your hips. See if it feels a little bit more of a deeper hip stretch. And then grounding your left hand down, step back into downward facing dog. Take your time, breathing here. Maybe paddling out your feet, Relaxing your neck, let your head hang down, stretching from wrist to tailbone. Inhale, come onto hands and knees, and then exhale, relax down into child pose. And resting here, relaxing everything. Breathing and relaxing here in child pose. Face and jaw, lips, teeth and tongue, all soft and relaxed. Relax your belly and breathe deeply into your relaxed lower back. When you're ready, grounding your hands, inhaling up onto hands and knees. Exhale, walk your hands over to one side. And sink your bottom down to your heels, relaxing everything. Breathe into your side body. And when you're ready, inhale back to hands and knees. Exhale, walk your hands to center. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, walk your hands over to the other side. Sink your bottom down and melt. You might be gently walking your outside fingers forward to stretch just a little more deeply through that side of your body. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, back to center. Round your spine into round cat. Inhale, flat cat. And exhale, downward dog. Paddle out through your feet. Breathe here in downward dog. Enjoy this pose for a moment. Begin to walk your hands back towards your feet, letting your knees bend, your belly rest on your thighs, hanging forward in forward fold. You might like to take hold of your opposite elbow in front of you and even exchange the grip so you're holding the opposite elbow for a moment, and then placing your hands on the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine into flat back. Exhale, round down. Inhale, sit into chair pose, and exhale to stand. Bring your hands onto your hips. And so then we're coming into a balance here. Feel free to steady yourself using a wall or an object. Sit into chair pose, a high chair, and then bringing your weight into your left foot, take your right ankle to the top of the left thigh. Flex your right foot and sink deeper into your chair pose. Bring palms to touch in front of your heart. Feel the stretch in your right buttock. The lower you sit, the more you'll feel this. The lower you sit, the stronger it is on your standing leg. And then come back to standing, have a paddle out for your feet. We're going to revisit this pose in a moment. And then we're doing the other side, so sitting into your high chair, bring your weight into your right foot, cross your left foot over the right thigh. Sit deeper into your chair pose, flexing your left foot. Remember, chair is a back bend, a gentle back bend, so you're lifting your heart and shining your chest forward. This is strengthening your whole body. It's okay to have a little wobble. It is a challenging balance. And then when you're ready, coming back to standing in Tadasana, have a little paddle out for your feet. Come back to center, parallel feet, bring palms to touch. Inhale, sweep your arms around and up, and exhale, diving forward, hinging at your hips. Inhale, up onto fingertips, flat back. Exhale, round down, and walk your hands forward, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale onto hands and knees, and exhale, relax down into child pose. Slowly roll yourself back up, bring your bottom to the floor. And bring your legs out wide into wide angle pose. Only bring your legs as wide as you're comfortable to go. Make sure that you're centered on your sit bones. So if you feel like you're slightly rocking backwards, you can bend your knees. You might want to sit up on a higher support. Make sure that knees and toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Bring your left foot in. Think of rolling the left thigh out. And then bringing your hands to your hips as you twist your hips towards your extended leg. So it's a shift of the pelvis. Lift and lengthen up. Make sure that you are centered on your sit bones. And again, do sit up on a block or a cushion if this helps you to be centered. It's really important that you're not rocking back on your sit bones, because we're going to fold forward. And if you're rocking back on your sit bones before you fold forward, you could hurt your back. So you can bend your extended knee to help you be centered on your sit bones or sit up on a higher support. So inquiring into tipping forward to the front edges of your sit bones, and then bending your knee as much as you need to bring your belly to your thigh. So you're working thigh towards belly and belly towards thigh, and then you can round over your right leg. Lengthen up, and you might like to straighten your right leg out a little bit if this feels better, if you're getting a little bit more of a stretch down the back of that right leg. But again, making sure that you're centered on your sit bones or tipping slightly forward on them. And then raising your left arm up, opening your chest and tummy up towards the sky, turning your left palm towards your right foot. Imagine you have a line coming out the top of your right toes, and reach your left hand up towards the top of that line. So you're really staying lengthened through both sides of your body. You can tuck your chin and look up at your top hand if you like. So then coming back to center and swapping over legs. So bringing the right foot in. Turning your hips towards your left leg, that shift of the pelvis. Move the flesh of the left buttock out the way so you can really feel your sit bone in contact with the earth. Bring your hands either side of your left leg. Inhale, lift and lengthen up, and exhale, inquiring into hinging forward to the front edges of your sit bones. Working your left knee closer to you until you're able to bring your belly to your thigh. So the more you bring your knee up and bend your knee, the more you'll be able to tip your pelvis forwards, and then you can round over once your belly is on your thigh. When you're ready, lengthen your body upright again, and you might like to straighten out your left leg a little bit more, but you're still gently tipping forward to the front edges of your sit bones. Inhale as you reach your right arm up, opening your chest and your tummy up towards the ceiling. Imagine a straight line coming out the top of your left toes, which are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And reach your right arm up and over to the top of that line in seated gate pose. You can experiment with the position of your head and neck to see which stretches feel good to you. And then coming back upright again. Bring the soles of your feet together into star pose. They're quite a good distance away from your body here. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, hinge forward. Round your shoulders over in star pose. Relax your upper body down. And breathe. And slowly coming back up, closing your knees together like a book, rounding into cosmic egg. And then coming down via your side onto the floor, rolling onto your back. So give your knees a hug in and rock side to side, feeling this massage out the flesh of the lower back. You can circle your knees, feeling this lovely massage all around the sacroiliac area where the spine meets the pelvis. Lovely relaxed movements with face and jaw relaxed. Keeping your right knee hugged in, flexing your right foot and extending your left leg out along the mat. Grounding the entire length of your left leg into the earth. As you hug that right knee in, breathe into your belly. You have a sense of your pelvis staying level as if your right sit bone could extend down towards the foot of the mat. Breathing into your relaxed belly. And then drawing your left knee in, hugging it in, flexing your left foot. Stretching your right leg out along the mat and flexing the right foot too. Grounding any points of contact between your right leg and the mat into the earth. Breathing into a relaxed belly, imagining your left sit bone extending away from you so the pelvis stays nice and level. And then just bringing both knees in, hug them in, have a little rock side to side. Ground your feet down, bring your arms out to shoulder height. With arms out to shoulder height, lift your bottom, shift it to the right, place it back down and let your knees fall to the left. Create a right angle at your hips and a right angle at your knees. Remember that you can use supports to make sure that you feel completely relaxed. So you might want a cushion in between your knees or even underneath your bottom knee. You might want a cushion under your right shoulder so that it's got something to rest on if it's popping off the floor. If you want to go deeper and have even more of a stretch here, A little trick, you can take your top leg and place it underneath the bottom leg. A little bit difficult to get your head round, but you're thinking of pinning your top leg down using the bottom leg in order to increase the stretch for the top hip, top outer thigh and lower back, depending on exactly where you're feeling the stretch. Relax here. You can always stay in this lovely restorative twist as long as you wish, and you could pause the video or let it play and then come back and rewind to continue, so that's up to you. But when you're ready, make your way back to center, realign yourself down the middle of the mat and hug your knees in, have a rock side to side, place your feet down, bring your arms out to shoulder height, lift your bottom, shift it to the left, place it back down, let your knees fall to the right. Work to stack your hips, so you want to draw your bottom hip under the top hip as much as you can. If you find that your knees aren't together, then place a cushion or a block in between your knees. And if you find that you can't work your left shoulder to the ground, then place a cushion or a block underneath that shoulder so that you feel supported and you feel that you can relax into this reclined twist. Breathe into where you feel the stretch. If you feel that you need extra stretch, you can cross your legs so that your top knee goes underneath the bottom leg and the bottom leg draws that top knee down further, increasing the stretch for your top outer hip and increasing the stretch for the lower back too. And remember, you can stay here relaxing in this reclined twist, restorative pose for as long as you wish. When you're ready to come out the pose, unhook your legs if they're crossed and draw yourself back to center. Realign yourself down the middle of the mat, head, neck and spine all aligned. And give your knees a nice hug in, have a gentle rock side to side, circle the knees. And then one at a time, bringing your feet down. You may like to keep your knees knocked together with toes turned in, heels turned out. We're going to have a little relax here in Savasana. If your lower back feels tender, keep the knees bent up. But if your back feels okay, you can stretch your legs out, letting your right toes flop to the right, left toes flop to the left. Keep your arms down by your sides, palms face up. But if you prefer the sensation of having your palms face down and connected with something, then bring them onto your belly. And just feel the warmth of your hands on your belly and breathe into your belly. We've done lots of core work today and lots of hip work too. So really send your breath to the belly that is soft, melting and relaxed, and to your hips, which are soft, relaxed and open. And breathe deeply all the way down to your belly, feeling as though every inhalation is nourishing you more. Soft, relaxed, melting belly, finding your soft, passive core. Every exhalation releases and relaxes you more, relaxing lips, teeth, tongue, face and jaw. Simply stay connected with your breath, tracing your breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Every exhalation softens, melts and relaxes you just a little bit more, relaxing your belly, relaxing your core, relaxing your back, soft, relaxed and melting. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is resting. Every exhalation relaxes you more. Feel free to stay here relaxing for as long as you wish, and you can let my voice simply wash over you as I rouse you into a state of wakefulness. But if you're ready to wake and get back to your everyday activities, then just follow along. And so having a lovely big stretch and breathing deeply into your belly and wiggling your fingers and toes, Gently rolling over onto your side, and use the strength of your arms to push your way up to sitting. Come into a comfortable seated position, observing how you feel to be upright, again, awake and alert. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.